Alright guys, how's everybody doing today? Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to do a little pre-shoot of a video here. I'm getting ready to leave on a trip back to West Virginia. And I thought, what kind of video can I make today? And I figured, why not break out the Sodbusters? Kind of show everyone kind of where I stand with Sodbusters. And I don't have a lot. It was a knife that I used a lot when I was younger. But I kind of got away from them when I started collecting knives again. And kind of got back into them here recently. So it's just one of these things where you kind of go away from something and you kind of get back into it, and definitely glad I started picking some more of these back up. But we'll start talking about these and kind of give you a rundown on where I stand. I got 3 here with some teener on them and then 2 that are like brand new. But this one here is a 1974 model. You know, we know that because of the tang stamp. It's got that 70s tang stamp and it's got 6 dots below it. But this thing had bright red rust all over it when I got it, and I cleaned it up, and I could get that pitting out of there, but I don't want to take any material off of this blade, so I'm just kind of going to leave it where it stands. You know, this one here, compared to the smaller ones, we can just see the size difference in this thing. I mean, it is just a monster. And for a 1974 model, let's listen to this. She's got some gator snap, walk and talk. Now these are large. You know, I got pretty big hands, and we see how much sticks out of the bottom. We see how long that blade is. You know, this is just a brute of a blade. This is a workhorse knife. This is a knife you got whenever you needed to go get some work done. So what I want to do is just kind of measure this thing. We got her laid out here. Let's see how long the blade is. The blade's about 3 3/4 inches. Overall, we're about, what, 8 3/8. And then the handle is going to be right about 4 3/4 inches. So, you know, it's just a workhorse brute of a knife, and I'm glad I was able to pick this up and kind of save it, because, you know, we look at that. Look at the blade centering on that. She's like a strike 3 right down the middle, as Richter would say, and just a good blade. I mean, you can trust this to get a lot of work done. Model number, we got it right there. Let's see if we can get her to focus. 2138. So again, we've got a lot of oil on her because we want to kind of preserve what we have. Now that's a 74 model, so we're going to look at a more recent one. This one right here is one that Jersey Knife Guy gifted to a bunch of us here on YouTube. Now if we look, I do have the box for this blade as well. Let's see. Let's get the box here. We can just look at the end tag on the box. Now we look here, it's American Workman series in the red synthetic. We look, it's a 22 model. And then you got your, where's our model? 4137 carbon steel. So again, that's the original box she come in. I like to keep all my boxes. Everybody knows that. I talk about it pretty frequently. But look at the patina on that bad puppy. You know, as soon as he gave these out to us, I just started using it. Then look, we also got that model number there, USA 4137 with the CS below it. Then on this blade, you should have 8 dots on it since it's a 22 model. Now look at that compared to the original large. I mean, you definitely see quite a bit of difference. You know, let's look at the overall length on one of these. It's going to be about, what, 6.5 inches with a blade length of 3 inches, and that's being generous. And then your handle's going to be about 3 3/4. So, you know, definitely a big size difference in these two. Now next, we'll look at this 2012 model. This one here is one that I purchased for my wife. And then she just never really used it because at her work she needs something fast that she can get out very quickly. And this just isn't it, especially if you're wearing gloves. But if we look at this, this is a CV model, USA 3137 CV. And it's got the 2012, you know, the 2010's tang stamp, and it is a 12 model. And I do have the original box for that one as well, so we can look at the end box on that one. Let's get her to focus here. Don't want to hit the camera. But yeah, there's the end tag on that one. Again, keep your boxes, everybody. Very important. But that's your yellow synthetic handled versus the red synthetic. You know, not a lot of difference. This one here did have some patina on it before. Kind of probably similar to this one, and I kind of cleaned it off because I knew I was going to just kind of put this up. But we got some little bit of pitting right here. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, we do have some little dark spot right here, but nothing big, nothing to cry about. But you know, it was a used knife. You know, she got it and she used it, and this was the results of it. Now next up, I couldn't resist getting me one of these. You guys know I got my buddy Lee out at the flea market. He asked what we were into, and by God, I told him some bone-handled carbon steel sodbusters would be the jam. So we look here, USA 6137 CS on there on the tank stamp, so it is that carbon steel. But this is in that, well, let's look. Let's see exactly what it is, because I got the box for this one as well. Amber Bone Peach Seed Jig Sodbuster 6137 carbon steel. There's the box that it sits on. But the reason I like these is just look at how thin they are compared to the synthetic. You know, you can see that there's quite a large difference there. Quite a large difference. So it's just a beautiful blade. And when he got these, I went out there and I picked it up. I immediately got a hold of Boston Blade Reviews. And I couldn't get a hold of him, so I was on my way back home, and we finally got a hold of each other, and he's like, yes, if you can go back and get me one, I'd appreciate it. So I went back, I bought a second one, and then I met James Stork out there, I believe on Sunday, and he bought the third one that Lee had. Lee bought 3 of them, and by gosh, Big J's team bought all of them. This one here, I did chip the bone in it. I dropped it and chipped it, but then I sanded it out. I don't even know if you can really, but it was right there, and it was jagged kind of, but I kind of got me some 600 grit sandpaper and just kind of worked her in there pretty good and sanded her smooth. But you can tell it's got a little bit of light color right there, but again, nothing bad. I dropped it, and I don't know what it hit, but it hit something. Blade centering's pretty on point. Let's look at the back springs. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not, you know, got a little up here, but nothing super bad. Overall, just a great blade. And these have some, this one too. These all have just superb walk and talk to them. Now, the last one I have here, and you know, I never realized this, but all these are carbon steel knives. I just realized that right now. But this isn't a case Sodbuster. This is the GEC Sodbuster. This is the farm and field tool that comes with the top lifter and the micarta scales. Now, has the half stops as well. But let's look at the, so we can see the blade centering on this one. She's right down the middle on both of those tools. Very good. Of course, the back springs on your GECs are going to be phenomenal. Now, I do have the tube for this too. Now we look at the tube. There's the tube that it sits in, and it's wax paper, and you've got the model number 715222. So it's a 71 model. It's you know, it's got the number 5 blade on it. 2 blades made in 2022. I believe that's how you read that. And then also with those, you get your little pin. Let's get over to focus here. So there's a pin that goes with it as well. A lot of people, you know, when you buy these, you keep everything with them, and you kind of, you know, make sure you have everything in case you ever need to get rid of them. People want all the original stuff that they come with, but if we look at the half stops on that. Well, let's get her to focus now. So yeah, if we look, we got farm and field tool made in the USA on that tank stamp. Then on the back we got GEC carbon 715222, and then we got the CK for collector's knives. And then of course you got Sodbuster there on your main blade. And then you got your half stop. One thing about these two on the pivot, you got the F and F. Let's get her to focus on that too. You got the F and F USA with the star on each side of that pivot. Let's look at the secondary blade. Secondary blade is your top lifter with the screwdriver. Then on that you got Titusville USA, or Titusville PA, not USA, Titusville PA. On this side it's blank. And again, this is that natural canvas micarta. So, you can just rub that oil right into it and she'll just soak her right up. But I bought this knife to carry, and then I never carried it. I got it off eBay. I grossly overpaid for it. So that was my fault. But let's look at the side. It's a little bit bigger than your average case Sodbuster. It's a full 7 inches. Again, it's got a 3-inch blade on it. And then your handle's going to be about 3 7/8 inches long. There's a look at them. There's a look at my Carbon Steel Sodbusters. Again, I didn't realize that they were all going to be in carbon steel. I thought I had some stainless ones, but apparently I don't. I must have got rid of them. Or I don't know what happened to them. But what I want to do now is I kind of want to weigh the difference in these. So let's get the scale out. Turn her on here. And I believe, yeah, she's on ounces. So we'll start with the bone handle. 2 ounces. We'll go to a synthetic. My wife's in there singing. 2.1 ounces. That's CV, synthetic. And then we'll go to the Carbon Steel synthetic. 2.15. So there's a little bit, 0.05 ounces difference in the CS versus the older CV. And then let's get our GEC, the double blades. 2.95, and you got to expect that it's a little bit longer. 2 blades. But boy, this is different. That lanyard hole. It is. I did buy this to carry, then I didn't carry it. I talked on the live about that as well, and it got here and it was just too nice to really do much with. Now let's look at the monster here and see how it comes out. 3.65 ounces, which is still pretty good because you're under that ounce per inch. So you look, this nice 4 and whatever, about 4 3/4 inches, and only 3.65 ounces. So you're still under that ounce per inch that everyone kind of shoots for. But this right here is just a clean specimen, I believe. She is a little pitted up and stuff, but we have a 1974 model. It don't get much better than that, guys. It just don't get much better than that. So again, this is a look at them. Carbon steel for the win. There we go. Alright guys, hey, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. You guys know I like talking to you guys in the comments and the chats. And don't forget about Happy Hour live chat. That's usually on Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Myself and Boston Blade Reviews host that, and so come along for the ride. There probably won't be one this week. I'll be on a little vacation back to West Virginia, so I'll put out a community post on that, on whether or not Boston's gonna do that, or maybe even have someone else host it. We'll keep you guys posted and let you know what's going on. So guys, hey, stay sharp and stay strong.